Emily, good job on your essay. We've gotten through our compare and contrast block style, and now we're going to work on the point by point. And we're going to use the same research and the same information, and we're going to organize it in a different way. Let me see if I can. So our intro is going to stand as it is, although you could add a little bit more. It is a short intro. But when we do a point by point, instead of having one paragraph all about Star Wars and one paragraph all about Star Treks, we're going to take the features. And the first feature that you talk about is the type of story. And then you talk about the characters. So what we'll do is we copy and paste, and this is just to start getting the format down, because this will give you a very, very, very rough draft. And I think it's right here. Okay, so let's look at how we'll do this. We'll take the first feature, the story being told in Star Wars. So we're talking about the type of story, and I am going to go ahead and double space it. I think it's easier to read. The story being told in Star Wars is a classic one. It involves a battle between good and evil. Star Wars has many characters from the original trilogy to the newest animated series. Star Trek's popularity not only involves motion pictures. Okay, so here we go from Star Wars to Star Trek. And we have to have some type of transition sentence in between. And we're making a comparison, so we're going to use, it's a comparison and a contrast. So it's either similar or it's dissimilar. So that depends on what type of word we're going to use. So we could say Star Trek on the other hand presents a classic humanitarian view. And I'm not sure if that's right. I don't know the research. You're going to have to decide that. But I want to show you how we're going to take a feature, which is the story, what the story's about. You're going to copy and paste, and then we're going to go through and do it feature by feature rather than a block of all Star Wars, all Star Trek. And then you're going to blend it. And then we're going to go back and do the transitions. So that's how we're going to switch using the same research and do it to features. So let's read this and see if it flows okay. The story being told in Star Wars is a classic one. It involves a battle between good and evil. Star Wars has many from the original to the newest animated series. Star Trek, on the other hand, presents a classic humanitarian view. Star Trek was an attempt to say that humanity will reach wisdom, that it begins not to just but takes a special delight in differences in ideas and differences in life forms. Okay, and right here you have Star Wars has many characters from the real, so we're going to have to take that out because that's where we're going to start the characters. And I'm going to get rid of that. Star Wars has many characters from the original trilogy to the newest animated series. And as I look through here, and it looks like right here is where we're going to talk about the Star Trek characters. So we have our Star Wars characters, and I was thinking there was more about the Star Wars characters too, so. And it really is, so. And so you're basically just copy and pasting, so you can see you just have to get your thoughts in order to do it, Star Treks. And here's where we want to put it in, Star Wars. And then we have to get from what the basic storyline is to the characters. So we're going to have to just add some transition sentences to go in between these things. So we have the story is a classic one, involves a battle between good and evil. On the other hand, presents a classic humanitarian view. And I actually feel like you have so much here about Star Trek, it might be nice if you could add some information here so that they'll be similar in length. And that's what you want. You want to kind of have about the same amount of information about each one. And then we go into the characters. Characters, and I'm just going to put it in caps so you can see my changes. Characters bring the fantasy worlds of both Star Wars and Star Trek to life. Okay, so we needed a sentence to bring these fantasy worlds or these battles or these stories, maybe stories would be better, these stories of both Star Wars, because that would help us go from here. We've talked about the stories. So you're looking to transition between your features. So we're not only transitioning between the beginning and the end of the paragraph, now we're transitioning between features. So we need a transition sentence as we go from feature to feature. And your research should all be the same. Basically what you're doing is you're taking these features, copying and pasting each feature, and then transitioning between the features. So go ahead and work on that, copy paste, and put your transition sentences, either highlight them or put them in all caps like this, the changes that you're making, so that I can see what your new material is. And turn in your draft. Also, you can work on your transitions, because you're going to, the overall transitions, you're going to just copy and paste your intros and your conclusions. But again, we have to make sure it flows, so we're going to have new transitions. Right here, this transition still works. But once we copy and paste, you've got to read it carefully and make sure it flows. And there's a lot of good transitions between your features and between your paragraphs. That's the end of the video.